Greetings everyone, Darth Oblivious back with you for another exciting episode of the Wretched Hive recap. And where are we going to discuss this time around? Well, obviously we've had the June, producer live stream to go through, analyze, break down, and otherwise, discuss somewhat, so to speak. But before we do that, there were a few things from the Wretched Hive that I did want to go over. In particular, there was one very good post in a thread we have discussed before, titled "The Game Has Died, Nowhere to Go." But it appears BioWare didn't like the tone of that post and has finally, well, I don't want to say finally, but has gotten around to deleting it, I guess. Deleting the post. Or deleting the thread, so we can't discuss the post because it no longer exists. I was a little bit slow on getting to that one. But, lots of evil to work otherwise, so I didn't get a chance to discuss that. But, yes, as we noticed before, BioWare seems to want to push some of the negativity away, which is understandable. There are forms that can do what they want, but in particular, it seems that they're losing the ability. How do I want to phrase it? They are losing the ability to actually view some very good posts along with that. Which is, critical. We've always discussed before that, for every game, really, during this day and age, it's extremely important to have posts that are critical about the failings of a game or a development team or the decisions they make, that kind of stuff. But it's got to be done in the right way. It's actually got to be informative instead of just a hate bashing post. I don't like this game, it sucks, you stink, you all should be fired, that type of thing. And things like the Game Has Died post had many very good posts outlining this is what the problems are, what needs to be done to as a solution, and now it's gone. Now it's gone. And there were also posts, and similar to the fact that there was also another very good thread that was around for a while. The unsubscribers thread is basically a thread where people would come on, tell, list why they were unsubscribing, what they did, that kind of, and the reasons for it. Again, another very good post that somehow, at some point, gets moved to off topic, which actually makes no sense because the entire point of the post was to be a general discussion of what can be improved in the game, what would bring people back into the game. Now that gets moved to off topic, makes no sense at all. Again, some very poor decisions on the part of this time the BioWare forum mods. But anyway, regardless. What's done is done, and whatever in the grand scheme of things. Some other stuff we're going to discuss here. Let's pulp this on real quick, shall we? How? Okay, why remove the ability to turn off double XP? Yeah, again, along with this enhanced storyline and everything else, enhanced critical story path and all that, we get double XP to make it go even bloody faster again. But which basically that gives the effect, and this actually came I think twice during the month of May, during the May the 4th celebrations for the month. But we've discussed that before. Again, we've listed the reasons why it just makes no sense to speed rush it. Well, where it doesn't make sense from a player's perspective to be speed rushed through the game, but it makes perfect sense for BioWare to speed rush you through the game, that the best part of the game, so they can try to encourage you to spend money to continue the story path. But nothing, you know, just rehashing the same stuff. Nothing really fascinating there. And of course, I was going to discuss some of the guild transfers, and the fact that they reduced the transfers to 90 cc's for what amounted to over a week, even though initially they said they were going to reduce it again for a week. And of course, as soon as that period was over, people started complaining again that, you know, hey, I missed the window. Can you reduce the price again? Even though it was, you know, reduced for you know, what, 9-10 months before they went back to regular price, and then you know, reduced it again after the initial complaints and stuff like that. So we're going to discuss that, but again, you know, some of those post threads have disappeared too. But regardless, I will mention that briefly. You know, 1,000 cc's, whatever. I think that translates to $10 or whatever per transfer. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really overly expensive, in my opinion. I think $10 is reasonable. I believe there are other games that actually have more expensive character transfers, but I mean, if not, it really, regardless, it really doesn't matter what other games do about transfers. Some games don't even have character transfers. I think when I was last in Archage, you still couldn't transfer servers at all, let alone for a cost or for free. That may have changed. I know, if I recall correctly, Rift offers character transfers free once a week, regardless of whether you have a subscription or what they call a patron pass is their sort of premium subscription option, having that or not. So you get one free transfer a week, which I ended up using a couple years ago, as a matter of fact, for the Extra Life event, to transfer from one of my servers and of course that's just one character, to the server where, you know, all the devs are going to be playing for the Extra Life event and setting up the guild. So, you know, every game handles it differently. So, in the grand scheme of things, you know, $10 really isn't that much when you think about it. I think WoW might actually have more expensive character transfers, but let's qualify that with, ooh, gotcha. Saying that, generally speaking, in the MMO world, you don't really have it's not really, it's not really in the core design, I guess you could say, to play a lot of alts. Again, generally speaking, of course, you know, every game I play, I have a ton of alts. But for the most part, I think in the initial design parameters, the initial sort of the MMO type, that unwritten MMO handbook that everybody, you know, tends to talk about with, you know, what one game should have and shouldn't have. And I think it's one of those things where in an MMO you don't really expect to have a lot of players who have very many alternate characters. Generally with the MMO, you're playing one or two and you're sticking with them just because of how much content and stuff there is to go through, and just the nature of the beast, really. However, we have with SWTOR one of the things where it's really in the core design to be an altaholic, where I mean, that was, you know, part of the original design philosophy, part of the way the game, you know, was built, was, you know, really encouraged, really, if you want the full experience, I don't want to say forced, but sort of, you know, you would have to have at least, at minimum, 8 different characters. And then if you, of course, if you wanted to at least experience each of the advanced classes, that would double that to 16. So at the minimum, you would think, you know, it sort of encourages you to have at least 8 to 16 characters. So, in the grand scheme of things, when you think about a typical MMO and how many characters you would desire to transfer, $10 really isn't all that much. But when you think about how this game was designed and what it encourages you to do, you're talking about $80 to $160, and that's on top of if you pay a monthly subscription as well. So yeah, I think $80 to $160, yeah, that is getting a little bit in the range of yeah, that might be a little bit too much. But then again, we have people dropping thousands of dollars on the CM every month, so I guess not really. But anyway, even the cost isn't really the main issue. It's again the fact that in every game that already has the ability to transfer characters, and for the games that I've actually done it, it is a heck of a less onerous process, or at least I don't want to say it that way, but it seems more thought out and more well designed. Let's put it that way. In all these other games, because again, let's get back to the fact right here. Enable guild flagships and banks to transfer. I mean, basically that says it all. I don't even need to go through this post. We all know what this is talking about. It's this inherent inability for a character transfer system to transfer some of the most important things in this game. And one of the reasons why people have not yet transferred. I mean, and this is aside from the fact that, as Tux has brought up in several of these threads, that, there are still new players coming in. There are returning players who haven't played for a while, who maybe want to get back into the game for whatever reason. And as we discussed in the previous, maybe even the last episode, but at least one of the previous couple of episodes, where you go to the server selection screen and you have no idea which server to pick, if you want a populated server or if you want a light server. You have all that information has been wiped away. You actually have to go to the website, dig through a little bit in the website to find that information. But again, we discussed, even with hardcore players, very few of an MMO's player base actually does anything outside of the game, i.e., visits the website heavily or goes to forums and stuff like that. That's a very small percentage that does that. So for your typical player, they are not going to have any of this information at hand. So a new player pop in there and you walk into a dead server. What do you do now? Oh, right away you have to pay $10 to go find another server, which you still don't even know where to go to transfer. It's hit or miss. So again, kudos to BioWare for at least trying to get this done, and especially doing cross-region transfers now. That's very good. Something that people wanted. But again, like many things in the game, a good thing, a positive change for the game, a positive feature for the game that's just done in a completely half-assed method. I mean, how could you not expect people to want to be able to take some of these other features with it, like a guild flagship? Like the guild banks, core features to playing the game, core features in the game. And your transfer system cannot handle that? I mean, really? So yeah, $10 overall, not really that much of an issue, but again, like we've mentioned about metrics, what's the reason behind why people are doing something or not doing something? And that seems to be, that kind of analysis seems to be sorely missing in the development of this game. Why aren't people transferring? Well, because there was a lot of time and effort put into some of these things that simply, for whatever reason, simply cannot be transferred. Where in other games, stuff like that it's all built in. There's no issues whatsoever. So it can be done. Now, whether it can be done for SWTOR because of technical limitations of the engine, which we've all agreed, even Bioware agreed, was a completely screwed up idea. But again, you can't fault Bioware. We mentioned long ago you can't fault Bioware entirely. And of course, with the ongoing problems with the companies now that have had the Hero engine and the Hero engine itself, obviously, you can't fault Bioware entirely because obviously they were sort of snookered into believing that the Hero engine would actually suit their needs when ultimately it would not. But neither here nor there. So that discussion there. But really the key here, now that I've already gone on for some time, but to get to the key points here, because for the May the 4th celebrations and stuff like that, we had a particular bit of contesting and stuff like that and giveaways. And one contest here, an Eternal Championship speed run. Yes. Okay, a contest with, grand prize of going to Star Wars or some sort of convention or whatever it is. I don't really think so. No horse in this parade, but what's the end result here is something, again, very disturbing to me. And it's the fact that the people with the fastest runs were completely disqualified from this contest. Now, why were they disqualified? That's a good question. Let's take a look at the rules here. Let's break this down. Let's go here. We'll open this guy here. Now we'll share. Okay, here we go. The official rules, well, the official announcement page, the page here that told us, hey, this is what it's going to be all about. The Eternal Championship Solo Speedrun. Enter by clicking the Enter Now button below. And speedrun the entire 10 rounds to qualify. Okay, let me adjust this a bit here, shall we? So we can read here. Okay. Players who have played through the Knights of the Fallen Empire Chapter 9 Alliance can play the Eternal Championship. So already the qualification. You need to play through the first 9 chapters of Kotfi, which of course automatically eliminates me, which I have no problem with, since I have no interest ever in playing Knights of the Fallen Empire. Well, speedrun through all 10 rounds, Eternal Championship. Challenging the festival possible time. Okay, here are the qualifications. Here are the rules. Here's what you need to do in order to compete. The timer starts when you accept the solo Eternal Championship mission, not the solo plus mission. Okay, good information to know, so we know what runs actually qualify and how we can actually start our qualifying run. The timer ends when you return to the terminal to turn in the solo mission. So, okay, good. Perfect. Easy enough to understand when. May 3rd to May 17th. Winners announced on May 27th, where the winners will be announced. How? Read and accept the official rules, official contest rules by clicking Enter Now. Above, be among the 6 top players. Okay, here we go. Yeah, 4-day, 3-night for a winner and a guest. Star Wars Celebration in Europe. Very nice. Star Wars for all 3 days. 3-year subscription time. 14,000 coins. Not bad. And then you've got 5 runners up, so 6 winners. 6 months and 5,500 cartel coins. So yeah, not bad. Not too shabby. Rules easy to understand, aren't they? Very good. So okay, pretty easy. Can't really screw that up now, can you? All right, let's go enter now. Let's see what. Let's break this down now. Okay, the official legalese rules that you always have for contests like this to make sure everything remains kosher. Sponsored by Electronic Arts. Well, we have a problem already. But hey, yeah, you know, whatever. Okay, sure. Eligibility, legal residence, okay, of course, the usual stuff for contests like these, void repetitive, participating in these official rules. Timing, registration for the begins, okay, when you can register, that kind of stuff. How to compete, okay, here we go. More of the nitty-gritty rules here, so to speak. How to compete, visit the competition website during the registration period and sign with and accept the official rules, which we are currently reading. Then log into SWTOR. Navigate to the solo Eternal Championship mission and speedrun solo through all 10 rounds in the fastest time possible. Each run must be done in solo mode. No other players may be present. Okay, good. So you have to do it solo. Good. More qualifications there. Timer starts when you accept, as they already stated on the previous page. Not the solo timer ends when you return, etc. No to access. Okay, what they also stated, what we know. Okay, an entrant may be disqualified immediately from this competition and at the discretion of the sponsor. Aha! Well, that, not for nothing, but that's a typical rule in any contest, but this is going to be key here, at the discretion of the sponsor or its designees from further EA online competitions for any failure to comply with EA terms of service, privacy, cookie policy, or for any cheating, which include the following: using any cheats, hacks, or other third-party helper applications, intentionally disconnecting from the internet during any game. Interesting. Colluding with other players and playing games, or taking advantage. Here we go, another key one. Taking advantage of known exploits in the game. It is the responsibility of players to understand and avoid all current legal exploits. Abusive and disorderly behavior, including harassing, negative, or profaning language online, will not be tolerated and also constitute grounds for immediate disqualification. Personal information. Nothing in these rules shall be deemed to exclude or restrict any of the winners or entrants' statutory rights as a consumer by participating, etc., etc. Memo bis punitive delicatum. So we go through the rest of this. Is all the legalese stuff. Nothing here really specific about the actual mechanics of running through the game and any of that. So this is the most specific information we have about the rules, about what is going to disqualify you and what you need to do in order to run a qualifying round. Okay, again, here, what we have here. I'm not going to move the box again because we're going right back to the forms here. So here you go. So this is all the information we had when we were starting this contest here. Or when I say we, I mean the people who actually participated in the contest. So there you go. Pretty easy to understand, right? I don't foresee any problems here, right? Wrong! Okay, May 9th, a couple days after the contest started here. We've got some issues arising. So, what have we got, Eric? What have we got? Hey folks, we have already received some reports that players have found a way to, quote, unquote, cheat the Speedrun Contest. The goal of the contest is a player will play through the Eternal Championship as intended. Will play through the Eternal Championship as intended. If you find a way to subvert mechanics, conversations, or whatever, and you use it in your run, you will be disqualified from the contest. We are aware of a way a player can use /stuck to subsequently avoid all conversations within the Eternal Championship. Although this is not a game... Here's a key here. Although this is not a game exploit, it is not... Using /stuck is not a game exploit. Now let's remember what we read through the official rules. Is considered an abuse of the contest rules. Okay. Well, nothing was mentioned in the official rules about abusing contest rules. If you use this, you will be disqualified. All right, fine. Okay, so good. We've got another qualifier here that wasn't mentioned beforehand, which is okay, fine. You know, maybe, you know, BioWare honestly didn't think about this. You know, again, you know, they've shown obviously in the past of not thinking things entirely all the way through and thinking of the consequences of their design decisions, that kind of stuff. So good. All right, fine. And think about this. It was brought to their attention. They said, okay, yeah, you are not playing the Eternal Championship as intended. You are using /stuck to skip conversations. You'll be disqualified. Okay, good. We have this information. That's fine. Keep this section of the contest rules in mind. So here again, we reiterate the only part of the official contest rules for that would disqualify you. Again, it only talks about using exploits, really, abusive or disorderly behavior. Okay, so maybe we can stretch this. Take a stretch of this line, saying, okay, yeah, that's abusive behavior, using /stuck repeatedly to skip conversations to circumvent some of the things that would lengthen a run that, you know, you're basically intended to view the conversations and that kind of stuff. Okay, fine. So, yeah, okay. There we go. That's it. That's all the information that we've been provided now for this contest up until it ended. So first things first. So, okay, we've had this additional qualifier after the contest started. Okay, we have not an exploit, but a cheat. We'll call it a cheat of using /stuck to speed up your run by skipping the conversations that you need to watch during this content of the game. All right, so what would be the logical thing to do in that case? Well, the logical thing to do would be to say, okay, you know, we didn't think about players using this /stuck command to circumvent some of the parameters of the Eternal Championship, which by doing so gave them faster times than we really intended players to have when playing through this particular piece of content. Therefore, we will eliminate any and all contest runs up to this point. We're going to extend the contest 2 days because of this additional rule parameter that we have to add to keep things fair. So since we lost the first 2 days of this contest, we will extend it an additional 2 days. And now that everybody knows the rules, you can follow them. If you use /stuck to skip conversations, you will be disqualified. Period. That would have been the logical thing to do. And we'll leave it at that, because obviously logic, BioWare, come on. Really? That's a good one. So, at the end of contest, what happened? Somebody got a run of 12 minutes, 39 seconds. But wait! There are people with runs under 11 minutes. Several, in fact. What the hell? What's going... What? Huh? The fastest person did not win? Why? What happened? Did they use /stuck to skip conversations? Well, let's see. Let's see. Hi, Eric. Hey, folks. First off, a big thank you to everyone who competed in the Eternal Championship solo speedrun. We saw a lot of great competition. I know many of us in the studio spent a lot of time following along as you were posting videos and streaming your runs. Oh, so you were following along. You were watching. So there was plenty of time to parse logs. That's key there. They had plenty of time to watch this stuff. Plenty of time to watch all this stuff, watch the contest go on. So there was plenty of time to parse logs and to go through the nitty-gritty to find cheaters. Let's remember that. But anyway, being live, I know there will be some questions about how we arrived at the winning time. Oh yeah, there are questions. First, I thought I'd best remind everyone of the criteria we used to determine the official time. No need to remind us. We saw it was there, plain as day. And then you added a qualifier to it. The timer for a run would start. Yes, we already know. No problems there. We know that websites such as Players can measure runs in relation to keep in mind that for the site players can only measure actual combat time, so this is not consistent with the official timing of the contest, but still, it would give a pretty accurate indication of who was faster than somebody else, regardless. Also, within the contest rules, there are a few criteria which will eliminate a player from being eligible to compete in the contest. Yes, we already know. We read the sort of the overview rules on the main page. Then we read through the official rules, which gave all the rules, all the official rules of the contest. We read through, and then of course a couple of days later we saw your little qualifier post for this cheat that was being made aware of. So we reread the additional. The contest is over. Oh, you mean there are other rules you didn't list? Why? You mean you had more rules that weren't in the official rules? What? Really? Huh? If you had these rules, why were they not posted in the official rules before the contest started? What? Come on. Okay. What are these rules that you never told us about before the contest started and before the contest ended? What? Well, okay, yes, we know. We know what countries we had to be eligible in. If a player had a previous TOS or 4 violation, what? I don't remember reading anything about form violations being a qualifier for the contest. Where was that? And what's a form violation? Is it a warning? I know I've had a couple of those. Is it a ban? We know a lot of people have been banned from the forums. You know, temporarily, permanently, whatever. Not necessarily banned from the game, but what the hell does a form violation have to do with actually playing the game? What does that got to do with content in the game? In the contest? Anyway. And what is it? Okay, well, what is a form violation? Break it down. Is it a warning? Is it an attempt ban? What? Huh? What? If a player uses any form of cheating, such as a bot, macro, etc., they become ineligible for the contest and are subject to TOS. Okay, so if they use an exploit, if they violate the TOS, yes, okay, fine, that was mentioned. Okay. No problem with that one. That was mentioned. If you violate TOS, that kind of stuff, yeah, sure, okay, you're disqualified. That's perfectly reasonable. Okay, as I mentioned in a previous post, there are some in-game actions which, although they are not violations, they are not quote-unquote exploits, are using game mechanics in an unintended manner. What? Huh? In that post you just mentioned that we just looked at, you said play through Eternal Championship as intended. So using /stuck to skip conversations was unintended. But what? By using game mechanics in an unintended manner. So now you're qualifying the actual /stuck command. Not using it to unintendedly speed up your run by skipping conversations, but using it at all? As an example, and without getting into details, there are two separate methods of using /stuck, which can either increase an individual run time or allow you to reset your runs faster. Oh! Now resetting runs faster is also a grounds for disqualifying. You didn't mention that in that previous post, which you linked right here. Where does it say that in your previous post, Mr. Musco? that using it to reset runs faster is also a non-exploit cheat. Despite the fact, as pointed out, that using /stuck to, I mean, in the MMO world, let's step back a minute. In the MMO world, speedruns, I look at speedruns and that kind of stuff in the same manner as I do, enhanced XP and power leveling. It's to me, it's freaking pointless. You're not playing the game, that kind of stuff. But regardless, it's the nature of the beast. It's an accepted practice. Now, in that accepted practice, are methods of resetting a run faster. You're going to fail. You just, in Guild Wars, there is a /resign command. I go into a mission. I play through. We get our butts handed to us. We know we're not going to complete this mission. We know it's just going to be a waste of time. /resign. Let's start again. Okay, good. That's perfectly acceptable. I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of the design of playing an MMO, essentially. That this is something core, especially as people mentioned, this is core to raiding and operations and stuff like that. It's what you do. It's like, okay, this is going to be a failed run. Let's start again. We got let's save. This stuff takes time. This hardcore content takes time, so you want to save as much time as possible. So it's not frowned upon. It's normal. It's basically part of the normal gameplay. But now, for some reason, it's not. I mean, and ultimately, like having a form violation, what's that got to do with an individual run if you reset runs faster? What, you end up maybe over the course of 2 weeks getting 2-3 extra runs in? Really? That it makes that big of a difference? I don't think so. But okay. If you reset your runs, if a player uses these or other subversion of normal, they will become ineligible for the contest. Note, if someone is found to fall under either of these criteria, the individual is disqualified from the contest. Not just that run. I hope this clears up any confusion with the contest results. I guess. I mean, I'm still a little confused of why these rules were not made known beforehand. I mean, if these were all rules and official, why weren't they made before? I mean, especially TOS or form violation. So you had people running this contest under good faith, spending their valuable time participating in this contest who were not eligible to begin with. Never mind the /stuck command. What? Really? What the hell is the reason for not posting this stuff with the official rules, stuff like that? What's the reason? Well, something smells rotten in Denmark, if you ask me. The only reason I could logically think for this scenario is that, at the end of the day, BioWare looked at the results and said, yeah, these top 6 people here, yeah, they're not altogether, 100% positive people. We may not want these people to represent what the positivity we want to protrude from our pores in this game. So yeah, how do we just call? Ooh, this guy did that. Ooh, this guy did that on the forums. Ooh. Oh wait, down here, number 10, and we like this guy. Yeah, he's a very happy, positive guy. Yeah, don't worry, be happy kind of guy. How do we get him to win? Oh yes! Let's add some rules that we've never ever mentioned freaking before! Well done, BioWare. Well done. Again, a fabulous idea. A great thing to do for the community. This contest, heck, you know, it's a great reward. Awesome. Yeah, bring some positive to the game, something people can get excited about. This contest. And you freaking totally botched it up again. You friggin' botched it up, BioWare. Come on. Serious. This is like the cartel slot machine all over again. You can't admit you screwed up by releasing it as initially. In fact, it was working as intended initially. And then you nerfed it to the ground. What? What? Wait, it was working as... What? A good idea. Totally botched by the implementation and the communication process. So I guess this means that we will not be having any contests again further, because we all know it's like, well, you know, we screwed up the cartel slot machine, and we can't admit that we actually are human and screw up. So we'll just not do any more cartel slot machines. We won't do any more slot machines. It's just easier that way. That way we don't have to admit that we're actually human and we make stupid ass mistakes. So I guess that means we're just going to do this with contests too. No more contests, yeah, because, you know, we just, you know, we're human. We screw up. We don't think of everything. You know, we don't think of things to logically fix the problems that arise as the contest is going on. Sort of like, you know, okay, this is what it is. We'll just disqualify all runs and just, you know, extend the contest 2 days, that kind of stuff. Then quick and easy. It's been done. Except, of course, you know, we got all these extra rules that nobody knew about except apparently BioWare. It would have been nice to know this stuff before the contest started. But, I mean, what the frig? What the frig? Again, you know, this all boils down to something we've mentioned before. And the projection that BioWare has absolutely no idea what the hell they are doing behind the scenes. I mean, you want to have all these rules? Fine. I mean, you want to include form violations as a disqualification? Okay, what, you know, it's your contest. You can do whatever you want. That's fine. I don't necessarily agree with that particular rule, but you know what? If you at least post the rule before the damn contest started, it'd be like, fine, okay, good, all right. Now we know. Now we know what qualifies, what doesn't, who's eligible, who's not. Not after the damn fact, so you can essentially give the perception that you're making this stuff up as you go along, so you can handpick who you actually want to win. I mean, come on. This is an official contest with a, you know, pretty big prize. You had better get on the ball and handle it correctly. Seriously. I mean, I hate using the word incompetence when it comes to many things. Game development in particular, because you've got to be very competent when you're developing a game, especially something like an MMO. But this here, there's no other word to describe it except complete frickin' incompetence in running a contest. You don't post all these additional official rules after it's over to handpick your winner. Why don't you just say, here's the speedrun contest. You know what would have been easier? Here's the speedrun contest. Do wherever the hell you want, because we're just going to pick who we want to win anyway. That's essentially what you did. That's essentially what you did, BioWare. You just said, hey, we don't like these people. We like these people. You're the winners. You might as well just said that from the outstart. We don't have any rules. We're just going to handpick the winners anyway, so do whatever you want. There you go. I mean, friggin' seriously. Come on. I mean, I can't even defend this. I'm sure I'm seen as a hater of this game, but I want this game to succeed. I want this game to improve. I want lots of people coming in to play this game. So what I complain about, what I bitch and moan about, what I take my word to task about, is what I think brings more people into the game. This whole thing with level syncing, the thing I'm always harping about, level syncing and the enhanced XP and that kind of stuff. Options. That's why I'm always screaming for options. If you have more options to play a game and have more options to play a game in the manner you want to play a game, you have more people willing to play the game. That's my ultimate goal. But this, I mean, this is like, take a step forward, take 5 steps back. This, I don't know. But anyway, we've got, it is what it is. Hey, it's just, I don't know. It's another one of those things that just make me go, how, why? Come on. Seriously, come on. Yeah, I know you guys are smarter than this. Come on. I know you guys are better than this. But come on. I mean, this is one of the things where you just got to take a step. I mean, at this point, I would just say, you know what? If I was in the lead chair here, if it was me, I'd say, you know what? I effed up here. Yeah, we didn't do this correctly. So you know what? We're just going to scrap everything and start again. Okay? June 7th through June 17th. Here you go. Boom. We're going to just start all over again. Here you go. Here's all the rules. Here's the qualifiers. Now, let's do it again. That's what I would do at this point. If I was in BioWare's shoes, I said, yeah, you know what, we handled things wrong. But, I mean, obviously we know that's not going to happen. But, anyway, let's see what kind of information and stuff is discussed in the producer's live stream. And we'll go from there. So, onwards, forwards, and yeah.
So, if you haven't been to a producer stream before, do you want to talk a little bit about how it's going to work? I guess we can head on to the next slide since it kind of describes it well.
I mean, we've got a pretty standard agenda flowing these days. We're going to go through State of the Galaxy, just give an update on some of the topics.
Yada yada.
Charles is going to talk us through
yada yada.
Yeah, so I mean, we just kind of set up a chapter 14 went live, Mandalore's Revenge. I know from our side, we were really pleased with how smooth of a launch it's been. No major bugs, no download problems. Excellent. I think we're really getting into the swing of getting these chapters out at a really high quality bar.
Yeah, now that you're almost at the end of the friggin' season 1 story.
It's about, but just wanted to call out that it's out there. Yep. And nothing major's come from it so far.
Which is good, which is very good. So, SWTOR Cantina 2016. For those that don't know, we've announced that we are going to be at Star Wars Celebration in London. I'm so excited. It's going to be so cool. All 3 of us will be there?
All 3 of us.
And so will somebody who didn't have the fastest time in the Eternal Championship, right?
Probably not. All the details for the Cantina itself you can find on the website. Take and link them in chat. Short version is it'll be on Saturday night.
Can't be louder than me.
I'll tell
you.
If you're going to be
I'll tell you.
So come visit us. Yeah. And then no details yet, but right now we're looking at our next cantina after that, probably being in New York, around New York Comic Con, but we'll see. We'll see. You don't want to lock anything in just yet.
For the Celebration event, do you need tickets to Celebration to get into our cantina?
You do not. Like most of our cantinas, it's just first come, first serve. We're also not even doing pre-registration this time, so it's first come, first serve for the entire event. We got a pretty big venue, so we should be able to suit everybody. But
nice.
But come on over.
Nice.
I'm so excited for Celebration.
Oh man, it's going to be so good.
The Eternal Championship. So the Eternal Championship goes along with a couple of the other promotions that we were running through May, just to give out mountains and mountains of prizes to things. In fact, the person that won the Eternal Championship Speedrun Contest will be joining us in London as well, along with a friend. So thank you to everyone that joined us for the EC Speedrun Contest. Like, the participation was out of control. My favorite stat is
obviously, since you couldn't control it, except pick who you wanted to win,
which is an average of 21 times per day for the entire duration of the contest, which is which is out of control. So I know there's been some questions about things like how we determine the winner and all the
Yes,
rules and stuff.
indeed.
I made a forum post, again, Tate can link it, which kind of talks about what was the start and finish line, what are things someone could have done to maybe not be qualified for the contest, all that kinds of stuff, so Tate can link it. So again,
After the fact!
contest, we appreciate it. Grand Chance Cubes.
After the fact.
So we know that when we
Seriously.
Grand Chance Cubes, there were some people who were sad. They missed the new bronze items coming in each pack, and they wanted them to be there. So starting with Chapter 15, the pack that comes with Chapter 15, we're going to be introducing new bronze items along with Grand Chance Cubes. So there'll be, I don't want to say 50-50 chance. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
exactly.
ish. It's
A
close
50-50-ish
enough,
chance that when you get a bronze item in a cartel market pack, you will either get a brand new bronze item or a Grand Chance Cube. So a little bit on both sides. So keep the feedback coming on the packs.
It's a completely worthless, ultimately.
Class changes. Chapter 14 introduced class changes. It's been a little while since we've done class changes. We did them a little bit differently than we've done before, where we really made sure to give more insight from the team on why we were making the changes. It seemed like you guys really liked that we did that. So that's something we're going to continue to do going forward, is make sure that we give you insights on exactly why your class might change. So, good deal there.
Yeah, good deal there. Good communication is always good, but you know what would also be good? Come here. You know what would also be good? Testing these changes on the BTS. That's why you have a public test server, so you can test things, especially, you know, major things, sort of like, you know, new content that we've always talked about, you know, to eliminate bugs, but, you know, testing class changes is sort of a major thing. You may want to find out how they really work on the public test server. Just something to think about for the future.
Eric?
Moscow Marathon live stream.
Last but not least, I don't know if everyone knows, but I did a marathon stream where I played chapters 1 through 13 straight in one day. It took me 15 hours, almost on the dot to do. I just really wanted to put it on here to thank everybody that...
So, 15 hours worth of content. That's all we got. 15 hours worth of content. For what? Twice the cost of what a typical MMO expansion usually costs? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Things have become much clearer now. So perhaps it wasn't the actual content that kept people subscribed, but the shinies. All these unique shinies handing out. So perhaps it's not the 16 hours of content per year. 16 hours of new content for the year that have kept people around. Again, misread metrics. What was Yoda's great quote? Prophecy misread, perhaps. Metrics misread, perhaps. But again, you know, we've got the guy here who thinks, you know, hey, we've got a whole bunch of flexibility in playing this game, right? We discussed this a couple episodes ago. Yeah, not having options to turn off, you know, sort of this power leveling thing. Yeah, that's being very flexible in our choice of gameplay. Yeah, real good there.
Came by and listened to me tell horrible stories and got amazing experience.
Yada yada yada. Yada yada yada.
Tate just pointed out that our faces are covering the text because I realized I moved the picture to the other side. So while they're introducing themselves, I'm going to move our faces to the other side of the screen.
It's going to make it impossible for them to tell who's talking.
That is true. Oh, that's true.
Well, I'll go first. That sounds
true.
slightly different,
That
so
is
you
true.
won't lose track of who I am.
Zoom.
So my name is Ben Irving. I am the producer for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And I am Charles Boyd. I'm the creative lead for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
And I'm Eric Musco, and I'm the community manager for Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yada yada.
Get those things going through. We might pick a person or two and give a prize out.
Yada yada.
Well, that's
Yada yada.
Against Arkan's forces, against the Eternal Empire. You know, raid this massive factory, go after a critical...
Yada yada. More story stuff that we don't. Again, we don't need this.
He's just one of the
It's
darkest,
out.
dark
We
sides
know
of
what
the
it's
game
about.
have
We don't
today.
need a freaking rehash of the story content in the producers' lives.
And I can't
That's why
not
you have
see
story
his name.
vlogs. My guy, if you're going to do
Fan
this, just
favorites
bring
and
back
yeah.
the story live
pre-launch
streams,
even,
for God's
right?
sakes.
The Deceive trailer.
Yeah.
So yada,
Top now.
Yeah.
yada,
Clearly
Congratulations.
a history fan.
yada,
Congratulations.
As much
As
as
much
I
as-
yada.
It really was.
List, and we would like you guys to vote on
Okay.
it, and then we're going to pick some winners.
Yeah.
I kind of like that wicked
No,
country
we're
style.
gonna
Looks
pick
Let's
nice.
do it this way.
Doesn't work.
Let's do it this way. Let's do Mandalore. We'll do a raffle. We'll do
Alright.
the word is Mandalore.
pardon
type
me.
Mandalore in the chat, and then if we select you as a
Oh,
winner, we'll do
pardon me.
3 winners.
Okay.
And if you win, you can pick one of these 3 items.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right. So
Should
first up, we have to
let's talk
discuss
about why.
Yeah, of course,
okay.
right.
So why don't you go first?
Yeah.
Sarah?
So I think the companion is clearly the coolest. I mean,
All right, yada yada yada.
and there's been a lot of
Come
beast ones,
on.
there's been some droid ones, but I don't think anything
Let's
tops
get on
this.
with
It's
something worthy. You know, something with
I'm
meat.
gonna go with the Commander Vizsla.
We are 10 minutes into this live stream.
Okay.
We have
I mean,
learned
overall,
nothing.
Very weak points. From I think inspiration for me, and
I'll say, even though Ben's wrong, he does. Shore step. They're all S's.
We're 12 minutes
Shore
into the
step
live stream.
and
We have
surrender.
learned nothing.
Congratulations to all the time.
Yeah,
so
it's
yeah,
important.
so
I
take
mean,
make sure
I
to
know
let
it's
us
me.
prevented for this drawing.
Yeah, I think
Based on that,
that's a great
Seems
one.
reasonable.
So yeah, immediately people are like
Oh, what?
the
Oh.
sabers. So
Oh, look, we
please
got
type the
Kylo
word
Ren's lightsaber.
vented into chat, and we'll do another drawing for another 3 winners.
Let's go back here.
Something more
Oh,
interesting. Because there's 3 of them.
Oh, true.
And then
Oh,
we
yeah,
can
look at
see
that
in
area.
Oh, yeah,
each one
true.
of us,
Yeah.
like which
Yeah, let's
prize
find
they
out.
want to win,
Yeah,
and then we
Tate,
can see.
obviously,
who's-
we need to know which one of us is right all the time.
Yeah,
so,
it's
yeah,
important.
so
I
Tate,
mean,
make sure
I
to
know
let
it's
us.
me.
Yeah, Tate, make sure to let us know. And since I mean that was most of the really awesome stuff. There was some good stuff in the past.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
think
that's most of it.
Was there anything missing that's obvious? I don't
think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't think
Let's
there's
move
anything
on.
else.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's go.
let's move
Next
on.
topic. Oh wait, there was something more interesting. Oh, here
That's
we go.
right. So I think we should probably give one of these away.
Let's give 3
3. Okay, keep it
of the
consistent.
vented lightsabers.
Okay.
I think that's the best thing.
I think it's only fair if we use the word vented for this drawing.
Yeah, I think that's
Based on that,
that's a great
Seems
one.
reasonable.
So yeah, immediately people are like the sabers. So
Well, this was
please type the word
inevitable, but
vented
you
as in saber,
know, we'd end up with
vented
Kylo
into
Ren's
chat.
lightsaber in the
Another
game.
drawing for another 3 winners to win the Defiant Vented lightsaber, which is just this. When I saw this the first time, I remember
Yeah.
just yelling in the middle of the like, oh
I think I can hear you from my desk.
Yeah.
You know, several rooms down.
man, so good, so good. Shall we move on while they're going through the drawing?
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
can
yeah.
announce the
Let's
winners.
move on.
Yeah.
Keep moving and grooving.
Yeah, let's, because
So
we
one
are
of the
now
things that we always
halfway
try to
through
do,
this live stream with
something that Ben kind of
nothing
wanted to
really
include
of
in the newsletter, and I think
substantive
it's been
value
in.
discussed.
So we try to highlight some of the cool stuff that's going on
Okay,
around the
this.
community from
Yeah,
different
let's
streamers
highlight
and
some of
YouTubers
our
and,
community
we featured
contributors.
YouTubers a bit, so we thought we would mix it up a little bit. First from Nastasia Fun. She does this amazing Lana Beniko cosplay.
So good.
So good.
We've been following it for a long time on social. Like, we've retweeted it and stuff a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
But she posted this great image of her cosplaying with Revan, and it was at, I don't remember the city, but it was at a Comic-Con where they had taken this shot, and it's just such a cool shot. So,
Yeah.
amazing work to her for the great cosplay
Yeah,
that she
just
does.
exceptional.
Yep.
Really nice work.
And
That
speaking of
is.
social media, Nick, who sits next to me, does a lot of our social media stuff, and he's like, you got to highlight Theron Thursday because it's become my favorite thing. So I wanted to give a shout out to not only hashtag Theron Thursday, which is hilarious, but to the hashtag SWTOR family folks. There's a lot of people who use that hashtag, and it's really, really popular, and it's a really great community on
Yeah,
Twitter.
Yeah, a lot of great folks.
They also have, I believe it's Miri Allen Monday that they've started celebrating as
Oh,
well.
nice.
So if you're on Twitter, definitely check out anyone that's in the SWTOR family, and feel free to use Theron
And
Thursday.
I love this as a photo bombing as well.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
that's why I thought it was a great one to grab for the deck. I was
Yep.
like, yes, photo bombing in a virtual world. Okay, this is too good.
Yep.
You
And-
guys can stop with the vented, by the way. We've got.
Correct. Yeah, I think we're probably going to start pulling up the winners soon. And then last but not least is the Bad Feeling guys. We've certainly talked about them before because they're lucky to be local here in Austin, and they did a great feature throughout the whole month of May where they came in and they talked to a bunch of us in the studio, all 3 of us included, just to kind of get our favorite memories from playing the Old Republic. And they've been putting them out through all their episodes throughout the month of
Yeah,
May.
yeah.
So if you get a chance, definitely go listen to literally any of their episodes, especially in May, and you can hear some of our favorite memories from playing the game.
Yeah, it was great. It was funny because I was listening to some of the podcasts last night. I was trying to catch up on them, and I was listening to the podcast they did right after our last live stream, and so they delayed it for a day to
Sure,
do that.
sure.
And they were saying, hey, it's great that the SWTOR guys are calling out these community contributors now, But they were like, but they're always doing YouTube, guys. So now we have to go learn YouTube so that we can make videos and we can do this stuff. And I was like, well, now what we have to do is have no YouTube videos and do all social, image or podcast type things. So I guess the only call out there is like, well, you're welcome. But also, like, it's just very, very much that we want everyone to contribute in whichever way they think is the right way. It can be videos, it can be posts, it can be Twitter, it can be Facebook, it can be images, it can be like whatever you guys want to do. We think all that is great and
we watch all of that stuff. I'm always on the lookout for it.
Yep.
So.
And as always, if you happen to be a community contributor of any flavor, find a way to get in touch with me. Twitter, forums, email, anything you can, get in touch with me. And there's always things we try to do, help guys with contests and giveaways and promotion and anything we can do. So make sure to get in touch with us for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, there's also some
Perhaps I shall.
buried in those. For sure. All right.
Sub rewards. So, as you guys know, the subscriber reward for June, which is now live, was the Eternal Empire Patroller Speeder. So those of you who qualified for that will have that.
Yeah, something very interesting about that speeder too.
And for the July subscriber reward, like I know everyone's a little bit upset because we didn't do an HK reward, and there was high demand to bring it back. So
I'm sure. I'm sure there was high demand for an HK reward.
Victory Stronghold decoration. It's a really cool poster you can hang up in your stronghold, dedicated to our pal HK55. To qualify, you need to make sure you're subscribed by July 1st, and then you will get this reward, as well as early access to Chapter 16, which we will announce the title of that and give you a little tease next time.
Yep.
This time we'll talk about 15.
Yeah. Correct. So I see the winners for the. Sorry, I was reading two different messages. The winners for the vented lightsaber. Do you want to read them? Flynn? Tate, please credit Moscow's account with one.
Okay, finally.
Appreciate it.
So
what we got here?
Here's something totally new that we haven't talked about before.
18 minutes into this freaking broadcast, we actually get something substantive to talk about, some information to discuss.
It's kind of in honor of SWTOR's 5th anniversary, so if you didn't know that, 5 years of SWTOR being live comes up at the end of this year, and so we wanted to do a whole lot of really cool things leading up to that, and one of those things is the Dark Side versus Light Side event. So it's going to be a galactic event where you get to earn epic rewards, and it's going to center around Dark Side choices versus Light Side choices. Yeah. And so I won't get into all the details of this, I just want to tease a little bit out, and more of the information will come in around 3 weeks from today. So the whole idea is that when you play the game and you make dark side choices or light side choices, the sum of all the choices that everyone makes through the entire duration of this event is going to impact what happens next. And so what's an example of that? Because I don't want to give it all away, but one example would be, so one of the rewards you can earn by participating in this event is a companion that we're going to introduce to the game. So a new companion we haven't seen before. And that companion, depending on who wins or who loses, will either be a light side based companion or a dark side based companion. So that will encapsulate how they look, their face, combat abilities, and that kind of stuff. So that's just one example of what will be impacted there. And the whole idea with this event is we're going to run it for multiple months. So it's going to be quite a big event with lots of different objectives to do. We're going to have, 6 tiers of rewards. And the more you participate in the event, the more rewards you can actually earn.
Yep.
And these rewards are very, very, it's easy for me to say they're the best rewards in the game, and you guys roll your eyes and say, Ben, the producer, said they're the best rewards in the game. But, I would say this time, that's, a no-joke comment. I'd say these are the, I'll be shocked if you guys don't say, yeah, you know what, Ben, you were right. These are the best rewards in the game.
There's some solid stuff.
Yeah.
It's funny, I was actually bad feeling. I was like, I expect a lot of dark side victory. So I'm curious, in chat, let us know, genuinely, across the entire game, do you think dark side or light side, what do players do more often? Because we actually checked.
Yeah, and we're talking about every time in a conversation wheel, you can pick to earn dark side points or light side points. That's what we're referring to.
Matthew Jack says, Kaizak, and you are 100% correct. There's no way that I'm lying. You will absolutely.
It's true. That kind of gives it away. The plan is actually to give one or the other versions of Kaizak,
which they are the same version.
And light or dark,
I'm not saying you didn't joke
as lame in the situation.
One of them does his finger guns with the right hand forward, and the other one with the left hand forward.
I want you guys to know, Charles and I literally made this joke about an hour ago. Not even kidding. I feel like I'm seeing a pretty even split.
No, dark side. Dark
No, a
side.
little bit more.
Dark
I
side.
don't know.
Maybe Dark Side a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like Dark Side's maybe a little.
maybe.
Shall I?
Do you want to tell them?
Yeah. So we looked at the last 6 months of play history, and actually the light side was ahead 59% to the dark side.
That's interesting.
41%.
Which surprised me. I genuinely was like, well, clearly everyone just kills everybody.
Right.
So that's what I
Right,
really
like,
thought. You know, I think a huge part of it is in Knights of the Fallen Empire, a lot of the choices matter so much more, and they're so much more impactful to you personally that it's hard to always be the bad person.
I've always considered it a personal mission to make sure that a dark side choice just makes you feel really awful about yourself when you make it. So that's always.
So I think it's going to be a really interesting contest. I think we're going to give periodic updates. I don't know if it's every week or whatever.
Yeah, we'll figure out what that context
lets
will be.
you guys know which if the light side's ahead, if the dark side's ahead, by what percentage.
Right.
To kind
Oh
of
joy!
encourage people to
Another
catch up.
contest.
And we're going to have a lot of rewards.
This will
so
end
you
well,
can
huh?
the dark or the light, and we'll announce all the details of the different tiers and things you have to complete in order to earn these rewards, and what all the rewards are, and how long the program goes for.
Hey,
all
make
that kind
sure
of
you
stuff,
list all the rules
will be coming,
beforehand.
in about 3 weeks. The intent is this event will start June 28th.
Yep. Alongside.
Oh,
like a transition?
that was a great transition.
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't know
yada
what you
yada
were gonna say.
yada.
Next chapter that'll be coming June.
So that was 5 minutes of
So
information.
obviously, hoping to.
Story, 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 story,
So I'm pretty sure that I can confirm.
story, story,
You know, they're
story,
these
story,
great-
story, story,
Actually, I'm just seeing like,
Right.
story,
Go on,
story,
is that a real thing? You actually know
story,
it's come from
story,
basically-
story.
You're up to right now. You patch it up, get in game, and check it out.
I know what I would
We're
thought.
done.
How
Huh?
does Sarlacc come in?
yeah, what have we got?
All right.
I'll wrap it up.
Oh, we're wrapping it up.
Look at that, and it's almost exactly
On the
3:30.
Oh, no discussion of the Eternal
So
Championship
chapter,
then. Is that what
14
you're
went
saying?
Live this week, Mandalore's Revenge. Really exciting. Glad everyone is enjoying that.
Mate,
If you haven't
wait,
had a
oh,
chance to
I
play
think you
yet,
mean June
make
there,
sure when you
Eric.
Get home from work or whatever else you're up to right now. You patch it up, get in game, and check it out. We have our July subscriber rewards. Make sure you're subscribed by July 1st. Get that sweet HK55 poster for your
That's
stronghold.
where we at here.
We have a really
That's
cool event coming out, the Dark Side versus the Light Side event.
Yeah, yeah,
15,
yeah,
the
yeah,
Gemini.
yeah,
You guys have, especially since- so-
yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in once
Yeah,
a time.
appreciate y'all jumping in.
I
Yep,
enjoyed
yep,
it.
yada, yada.
And there'll be some cool stuff to talk about.
Yep. So thank you guys very much for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
teaser. Teaser's pretty cool. So
Okay, yeah.
I understand you're both upset, but there was no way to know they would recruit the Mandalorians of all people.
At what point do you tell me something that keeps you from decorating the bottom of the spire?
Okay, whatever. All right, so there we go. Yeah, okay. So basically, out of all that, we got 5 minutes of good information, of something to somewhat get excited about if they didn't, you know, totally botch the previous contest. But hey, that's it. Darth Oblivious saying that wraps up another episode here. Let's hope, let's meditate on the dark side, and that things will get better from here. Because, yeah, as much good as you know we sort of had with the May the 4th celebration, stuff like that, is just overshadowed by something that completely botched again. And another producer's live stream, pretty much at least half of which was discussing story, which we don't really need to know. You know, nothing mentioned about the Eternal Championship like the agenda said. So, okay. Yeah. That was pretty much a waste of 30 minutes there. Alright, anyway, this is Darth Oblivious saying thanks for watching. And until next time, I will see you in the game and in the Wretched Hive.